I just sent broken Java code to my own Spring Boot application and it got a SQL injection in 2 seconds. That's not paid tool, that's not ChatGPT in the browser, that's an AI endpoint running inside a Spring Boot back. And it took one dependency and 3 lines of configuration. I'm going to build the whole thing with you in next 15 minutes. And every single line of the code we write, you can run completely free today. No credit card, just your Google account is required. This is AI for Java developers. It's a 3-part series that takes the Spring Boot skills you already have and drag them into the AI era. This is the part 1. So here is what you will walk away with today. A working AI endpoint inside a real Spring Boot application. An automated code reviewer, the one you put in your portfolio and demo in your next interview. And the pattern that every company building AI backends actually use. No paid API, just your Google account and the code we write together. But before we touch any code, I want you to give one mental model. Because once this clicks, everything else in this video becomes easy. So every AI system, including ChatGPT, Google Gemini, whatever you used, has 3 parts. The first one is the model. That's the AI that does actual thinking. The second one is the prompt. That's your instructions, what you are asking it to do. And the third is the response. That's what comes back. That's it. At the backend level, that's all AI is. A model, a prompt, and a response. And the Spring AI, that's the Java library we are going to use it today. It connects those 3 things to your Spring Boot application. It handles all the wiring. We just write the normal Java. So here is our plan. 4 steps. Step number 1, setup. 1 dependency and 3 configuration lines. We will be done in 3 minutes. Step number 2, our first AI endpoint. We send it a question and we will get an intelligent answer back. Step number 3, the code review. SQL injection catch from the intro. This is the one you put in your next portfolio. And step number 4, the part most tutorial script. And honestly, it is the most valuable part of the whole video. Step number 1, first we need a project. Open your browser, go to start.spring.io, the Spring initializer. It generates a fresh Spring Boot for us. So for that, I'm going to put Java 17, Spring Boot 3.5, Maven, same as always. Now the dependencies. We're going to add 2. The first is the Spring one, as usual, what we are usually doing. And the second one is called as AI session, which is OpenAI. Now, I know exactly what you guys are thinking. OpenAI is in the paid one. Here is the trick. We're going to use OpenAI starter, but we are going to point it to Google Gemini instead. Google Gemini has OpenAI compatible API. So we get all the Spring AI tooling and we get Google free tier, no credit card, just the daily limit, which is way more than we touched today. So I'm going to open our application properties. Let's open pom.xml. Look, see, 1 dependency. That single line pull everything, the chat client, the model abstract and all, the whole setup on 1 dependency side. Next, let me open our application dot properties. We need 3 lines here. The first line is our API key. We grab that in a second. The second line is the line points to Spring AI to Google Gemini instead of OpenAI. And the third line picks the model. So for the key, what you have to do is like go to aistudio.google. That's the Google AI Studio. Sign in with your normal Google account. Create API key. So you might need to create a project first. Once created that, simply create the API. Then copy it. Then in your terminal, before you run the app, set it. That's our entire setup. No credit cards, no billings, 3 lines of configuration. We have a live connection to a state-of-art AI model. So let me show you how actually we can use it. So we're going to create a new file which is called aicontroller.java. Now here is something that surprised me about Spring AI. The most impressive thing about AI is how little code we have to write. When we first built it, I kept waiting for the hardest part, a configuration class, some API wrapper, service layer. I kept looking for it. There is nothing. This is all it. Let me write the code. So let me walk through this together line by line. See this chat client dot builder in constructor. Spring inject that for us automatically. We don't configure it. We just ask for it and call dot build. Then look at the endpoint. Here is 4 chain calls. They are like plain English only. First one is prompt start the request. That is to start the request. Next is dot user set the message. That's what we are sending it to AI. And the context, it gives the answer back with a simple string. And the last line, record as request. If you haven't seen records before, it's just a quick immutable data class, one line, and Java writes the constructor getters for us. Here is a little container that holds the incoming JSON, so Spring can pull the question field out of the request body. We use the same trick for code review in a minute. The way I think about it, chat client is like a REST template. So you used REST template to call another REST API, right? This is the same idea. We are just calling an AI model instead. The same concept, different destination. So let me run this application. Okay, app is running. Let's open Postman and try it. We send a post to localhost 8080 AI/ask, and in the body a simple question: what is Spring Boot? Let me send it, and here it is, a real live AI response coming straight out of our Spring Boot application. That's the step number 2 done. Now step number 3, this is the one that goes in your portfolio. So let me ask you a question. What is the most time consuming part as a Java developer in day to day? So for me, I could say for a lot of us, including me, it's code review, reading through someone else's code, catching the bug before they reach the production, right? So what if our Spring Boot application could do that for us automatically? Let's build it. So we just gonna add a second point right below the first one, and this is where you learn the most important skill in AI backend development: prompt engineering. Same as the first one, a second endpoint, and there is one record again, this time holding the code we want to review. Now look closely at this prompt, because this is where you can learn most skill in AI backend development. See what's going on here. It's 4 things, right? First, we give the AI a role. That is, you are a senior Java developer. That focus the whole response. Second, give it a task, review the code. Third, give the criteria. Criteria is flag bug, bad practice, security issue. And the fourth, we give it constraints under 200 words. Without that one line, trust me, it writes an essay. Role, task creation, criteria, and constraint. That's the structure of every good prompting. And this is the real backend skill now. Writing a good prompt is valuable as writing a good SQL query. Look at this method. I planted 2 problems in here. One is security hole, one is a crash waiting to happen. Pause the video for a second, see if you can spot both of them. Let's see what our AI can find. So I'm gonna copy this in our new request, paste the values. I'm gonna click on send. See this? It caught the SQL injection, building the query with string concatenation. That's classic, that's dangerous, it's found instantly. And it caught the null list too, calling to uppercase on a colon that could come back null. Okay, that's our automated code review. Running inside Spring Boot in 20 lines of Java. So in part 3, we are going to point this exact review at a live code app and catch those. Remember this, it pays off at the whole series. Step number 4, the part most tutorials skip. Step 4, this is the part most tutorials skip. This is my favorite part also. Right now our app talks to Google Gemini. Watch what happens when I switch it to totally different AI. Let's use Groq. It runs Llama, it's really fast, and it is also free. Here is everything I change: the key, the web address, the model. That's all. Now look at my Java code also. My controller, my two endpoints. I didn't touch a single line. I swapped the AI behind the app, and my code has no idea it happened. That's the whole point of Spring AI. Your code stays the same, you just point it at different direction. And here is why that's a big deal. The best AI today won't be the best next year. The new one shows up every month. If you glue your app to one, every switch means rewrite your code. Do it in this way, and switch takes 30 seconds in one line. One honest thing, this easy swap works for any AI that speak OpenAI format like Gemini, Groq, and lot of others. For the few like Claude has their own. For those, you need to change one line in POM instead. Either way, your real code never changes. Okay, look at what you just built. You got the mental model, prompt, and response. That's all AI is on the backend. You added AI to Spring Boot app with one dependency and 3 lines of configuration. You built two real endpoints, one that answers to your question, one that review the code and catches the bug. And you learned the pro move. Swap the AI without touching your code. One controller, two endpoints, about 40 lines of Java. That's it. Now, do one thing before you close this tab. Go to aistudio.google.com, grab your free key, actually run this yourself. 5 minutes. The moment your first AI answer come back from your own app, it just clicks. Link is in the description below. But here is the catch. Your AI has no memory. Every question is a total stranger to it. Ask a follow-up question. Now say that in simple. And it has no idea what that meant. That's the one thing standing between this and the real assistant. In part 2, we will fix that. We will give your AI a memory about 20 lines of Java. That's next. So, if this helped, subscribe. That's how part 2 finds you. And if you're new to Spring Boot, full beginner path is in the playlist. Start with build your first REST API in 15 minutes, then come back here. You build this. Most people never even try. See you in part 2.